80 is also the number of exceptional. Exceptional. 70 is the norm. 80 is going beyond the norm. God creates the world in 7 days. That's the completion of the physical world. The 8 is going beyond the natural order. It's transcending the natural. That's why Messiah dies on the 6th day, Friday, is buried at the end of the 6th day. Into the 7th day, he rests like God rested from creation, and he rises from the dead on the 8th day because it's a number of new beginnings, breakthrough. It's excelling. It's exceptional. So in this year of 80, one of the realities that God wants us to know is who we are in him. Now, God tells me whenever I speak, I need to share this story, and some of you have heard it before. One morning I was getting ready, and God said to me, Jason, you're my favorite son. And I said, thank you. He said, when you go out there, tell people you're my favorite son. I can't do that. They're going to pick up stones to stone me. He said, Jason, you're a father and I'm a father, but I'm not a father like you're a father. I'm the infinite father, and I can have an infinite number of number one sons and daughters. Turn to someone and say, you're his number one. But what that makes you is exceptional. Say, I am exceptional. Turn to someone and say, you are exceptional. No exceptions. 80 is the power to excel. It's connected to priesthood. Oh my goodness, it's too much. We'll get to that another time. We'll do it online. We'll do it online. You can check it out. Listen, you're going to be like, stop already. 80 is the number of Yesod. Say Yesod. Yesod in Hebrew means foundation. The biblical word for foundation has a numerical value of 80. Friends, this is a foundational decade. This is a foundational season. God is establishing new foundations in our lives. And friends, the natural and the spiritual go hand in hand. Look in our nation, look in our world. There are new foundations that need to be set. For good or for bad, new foundations are being established. And Joseph is associated with foundations because Joseph brought order everywhere he went. And that order led to alignment, and that alignment led to blessing. He put Potiphar's house in order. He put the prison in order. He put the palace in order. When he put it in order, it came into alignment, and there was multiplication and blessing that came. God is wanting to bring, as part of the foundation, God is wanting to bring new order to our lives and to our nation. God wants to remove the chaos. Turn to someone and say, the chaos has to go. The first thing God did at his creation was to create Seder, order. Nothing can exist until he brings order out of chaos. And God is wanting to bring order in your life to firm the foundations, to lay new foundations so that alignment and blessing can come in new ways. This is all connected to the 80. But what I really want to share with you, the 80 is the strength. But now I want to talk with you about the breakthrough. Because more than anything, I believe this is a time, this is a decade, this is a year where God wants to prepare us and lead us into breakthrough. And when I think about breakthrough, what I think about first and foremost, the redemption from Egypt is one of the greatest pictures in the Bible of breakthrough. Egypt is Mitzrayim. Say Mitzrayim. It's a place of confinement and restriction. It's a place of being boxed in. It's a place of being limited. Break through, the word parat, say paras. It means to burst through the box. It means to break through the confinements and the limitations. It's about expanding. It's not being limited, but it's excelling and being expansive. So don't allow yourself to be kept in the box. Say, I'm not going to be kept in the box. Turn to someone and say, you're coming out of the box. Say, I am going to break out and break through my limitations. Friends, when you focus on your limitation, you always lose. We need to focus on the Lord. Don't remain in Egypt. God wants you to break through. And you can't fully understand breakthrough in this new decade of the 57 what? 80. Without understanding the significance of the last decade. Next slide. The last decade was the decade of the ayin. It was the 5770s. Ayin, that's the Hebrew letter ayin. It literally means eyes. See those 2 points? See the 2 points? And a different way of writing it is 2 round circles on each end. It's like 2 eyes. And it literally means in Hebrew, ayin means eye. It's the way you say eye. It's this name of this letter. And its numerical value is 70. So this is the decade of the mouth. The last decade was the decade of the eyes. The ayin has 2 eyes. We have 2 eyes. The ayin has 2 eyes. Symbolically, there are 2 eyes. There is what is known as the good eye and what is known as the bad eye. Yeshua talks about this in Matthew 6:22. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. He talks about the good eye and the bad eye. What is the bad eye? The bad eye is the pessimistic eye. The bad eye is the negative eye. The bad eye is always the eye that lets us to see the cloud and not the silver lining. To the degree that we see through the bad eye, we'll remain stuck in Egypt and lose the breakthrough. Listen, some rabbis say that as much as 1/3 of the Jewish people died during the 9th plague on Egypt, the plague of darkness. Literally, they couldn't see literally or spiritually, and they died in Egypt because they'd rather stay in Egypt than go out with the Lord to the promised land. The good eye is key to breakthrough. The good eye is the eye that sees blessing, life, and good in all people, in situations and circumstances. And the eye is directly connected to the brain. Our brains process the info our eyes give. Our eyes connected to our brain give insight. Say insight. So how we choose to see the world determines how our mind will process the experiences that we have. That's why 2 people can look at the very same thing and come to very different conclusions and understandings. Breakthrough begins with thinking. We need breakthrough thinking to break through. The decade of the ayin must precede the decade of the pay. The ayin must precede the pay. Why? Because we always have to see right before we can speak right. Normally seeing should precede speaking. And we see this very clearly when Israel came out of Egypt. This was a focus of the last decade that we just came out of, was developing the good eye of, and last year was the year of the good in particular. And what we have to understand, 12 spies were sent into the land to spy out the land. Okay? 10 could only see the problems and the pitfalls and everything that was wrong. Only 2 could see the good. So the 12 spies come back, and 10 brought a negative report, and they allowed their bad eye to prevail. They said the land was good. It's flowing with milk and honey. There's giant fruit. It's amazing. Look at this giant fruit that we carried back on poles. It was really good. But, friends, your big butts will always get you in trouble. Your big butts are always going to get you in trouble. Why do you want to insert your big butts? God doesn't like big butts. He wasn't a fan of that song. Sorry, Two Live Crew. Guys, your big butts will rob you of your breakthrough. Turn to someone and say, your big butts will rob you of your breakthrough. The land is good. The fruit is good. But they're giants. But their cities fortified up to the heavens. But, listen, every one of us has a but. We all got a but. No buts about it. And some of our butts smell, I'm just saying. The bad eyesight led to bad thinking, which led to their mouth bringing a bad report, which undermined the children of Israel's faith, that caused a generation to die, wander in the wilderness for 40 years and die. The bad eye caused them to badmouth God and his promise in the land which he gave them. You can't understand the decade of the mouth unless you understand your eyes. The eyes and the mouth are connected. But Joshua and Caleb had a different spirit. They saw from the place of the good eye. There's giants in the land, so what? There's fortified cities, so what? They're like, guys, don't listen to that. God promises, let's go up. God will give us the breakthrough. God will empower us to break through. But they followed their bad eyes, not their good eyes. They spoke a report. But Caleb and Joshua had faith. They believed. Listen, at whole generation's eyes, Caleb is 85 years old, and he says to Joshua, listen, I want what God promises. Give me the land of Hebron. I'm as strong as today as I was then. I want to go up and take Hebron. Listen, you know the amazing thing about him wanting to go take Hebron? That was the place of the giants. At 85 years old, Caleb's like, give me the toughest assignment. And here's the crazy thing. Change the slide. I think it's the next one. See that pay? That's how you say the word pay. Like pay means, that letter is pay, it means mouth. But when you spell out pay, mouth, it's spelled pay, hey. Okay? Pay, hey, hey, kind of rhymes. There's a lot there, but pay is equal to 80, hey equals to 5, mouth means 85. The age Caleb went and asked God with his mouth to take the land.